Chances are you probably have at least one book in your home that you keep telling yourself you'll read when you have the time. Well, now with an excess in free time and limited ways to spend it due to coronavirus, you have the opportunity to do just that. I believe that reading is a great way to spend your time because of its many benefits and because it is a way for life to remain productive. By adding reading to your quarantine routine, it will help you to avoid feeling bored and unproductive. I've always loved reading, and I've seen its many benefits in my own life. And I've also done research to better understand these benefits from a scientific perspective. Today, I will be helping you understand 1, the current state of the world and how it is affecting our mental health. 2, why reading is a solution to help us deal with some of these anxieties. And 3, how reading can continue to benefit us in the long term. To begin, as this pandemic forces us to stay home for extended periods of time, it is easier for an environment of stress and anxiety to be created. An article from Wired titled, "What Coronavirus Isolation Could Do to Your Mind and Body," explains that it's important to remember that isolation doesn't just numb your brain with boredom. And as John Vincent, a clinical psychologist at the University of Houston says, people start getting lethargic when they don't have positive inputs into their small worlds. I too began to feel stir crazy and felt like I had little to look forward to. I was obsessively watching the news instead of trying to find one of these small inputs that John Vincent speaks of. Then I realized I could turn to something that I've always loved, reading. I think it is important to remember that during this period, not all activities are off limits. Although most of us are stuck at home during this time, there are still things we can do to help us feel productive. I believe that reading is one of the best things we can do because not only is it an extremely distracting activity that helps get our mind off of everything that's happening, but it is also proven to be very calming as well. As an article titled, according to the University of Minnesota's Center for Spirituality and Healing, reading can relax your body by lowering your heart rate and easing the tension of your muscles. A 2009 study at the University of Sussex found that reading can reduce stress by up to 68%. And it works faster than other relaxation methods because your mind is invited into a literary world that is free from the stressors that plague daily life. Now you might be thinking that there are other activities you could do, such as spending time on social media, that are easier ways to spend time. However, it is important to remember that spending excess time on social media can actually increase your stress levels. As an article titled, "Don't Go Down a Coronavirus Anxiety Spiral" points out, while social media can sometimes be helpful, they can also place us into filter bubbles, often amplify the most extreme voices, and are a fervent breeding ground for conspiracy theories and misinformation. But instead, when we choose to spend our time doing something like reading, there can be benefits that extend beyond this present moment. It might be scary to think about how long this pandemic may persist, and it might be just as scary to think about how long we will be stuck in our homes. But if we choose to spend this time by starting a new activity, we will be building the foundation for something with lasting benefits. As Healthline reports, a growing body of research indicates that reading literally changes your mind. Using MRI scans, researchers have confirmed that reading involves a complex network of circuits and signals in the brain. As your reading ability matures, those networks get stronger and more sophisticated. Imagine not only spending your time doing an activity that is distracting, but one that is literally strengthening your brain in the process. Now, during this time, I have seen many of my loved ones experience extreme stress and anxiety. My mom began reading every night before bed to help her deal with this exact problem. She said it helped get her mind off of things before going to bed, thus allowing her to have a better night's sleep. When she is exercising this habit, she is also exercising her brain. and she can continue to do this for the rest of her life. In conclusion, whether you've had a book you've always wanted to read, or whether you've never really considered reading for fun before, I encourage you to give it a try. It might be daunting at first, but you can start small, maybe by just reading a couple of pages a day to begin with. And to summarize, we are experiencing an extremely stressful period of time, but reading is something that we can turn to help us deal with some of these anxieties. And furthermore, it is a habit that can continue to help us going forward in life. I truly believe that reading adds so much to one's life. It is not only a fun activity, but it can calm the soul and strengthen the mind. And as Time Magazine points out, no matter what's going on in the world, a good book can provide insight, comfort, or a welcome escape. I encourage you to try reading so that you can find a welcome escape of your very own. Thank you. Does anyone have any questions? Yes.
What are you reading right now?
I'm currently reading The Goldfinch. It is quite a big book, but I am trying to take my own advice by having a set number of pages a day to accomplish that. Any other questions? No? Okay. Well, thank you.